Where does happiness come from? Can you, in your house or wherever you're watching this, can you walk over to something and like pick up a box? Is happiness in a box? Is it a thing you buy? Can happiness be a thing? Or is happiness completely in here and in your heart? Right? We manufacture happiness. We get to create it. We can have happiness right now, right here. I'm sitting here talking to you and I feel you. I can be happy just because I'm so blessed. I could be working on cars, I could be flipping burgers, and I'm not dogging either one of those, but I get to be here right now, sharing my heart, inspiring you. How could I not be happy? But I want to share with you how you can create that today. Yeah, we got to stop letting, I want you to be so driven to make more money that it's insane. Because money does allow you to be a better version of you, and you get to help people, you get to cut checks for problems, you get to do all these things. But this training today is I want to convince you to have a passionate desire to create happiness. Be the light, be the energy. Don't let anyone dim your glow. In fact, when you walk in a room, you brighten everybody up. They can't even help it because you bring so much energy and light into that room. So let's go through this. Number one, happiness habit number one. Define what happiness looks and feels like to you. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of this, then I'm going to go deep here. Imagine that we're sitting in a restaurant right now. This is right after that number one. We're sitting in a restaurant right now, and I asked you this question. From the deepest part of you, of your heart, what makes you happy? What would you answer? Do you know what it would be? So I'm going to start the chapter. I'm going to flip that book over and think about it. But right now, we're sitting here. And if I say to you, what makes you happy? Literally happy. Don't go the default, my kids. Like, that's great. My kids make me happier than anything in the world. But really, what makes you happy? So many times in life, like all the training that I do, this first section is, we know what makes us unhappy, and we're always trying to avoid that. What causes us stress? What causes us worry? What causes us angst? What causes us to feel insecure? What causes us to feel less confident? We know those intimately. If I said to you right now, be honest, what makes you unhappy? You could tell me really fast. But if I asked you what truly lights you up, what makes your glow become, what does the opposite of dim your glow? What makes your glow bright and radiant? What makes you look the best, like you were at sun tanning, or you lost weight, or you walk in a room and you're just glowing? What makes you happy? In most cases, we don't think about that enough. We don't define the plan, so then we don't know what we're fighting for. We don't know what to go after because it's not definitive. We know what makes us not sad. Tell me if I'm being right here. Tell me if I'm on the right track. Say yes right now if you really know what can make you not sad. Not even something that makes you sad, but I'm not going to do these things because they make me sad, make me depressed, make me worried. But literally, what lights you up? So start defining that. And what I would suggest, whether you do this right now, or you do this when you watch the replay, or if you're watching the replay, you could stop, when you watch the replay, you could stop this video at any time. What I would do as an exercise is I would just stop right now, and again, if we're watching live, do it later, stop and just write down what makes me happy. Is it conversation? For me, it's like when I surround myself, my nature, when I'm truly happy, when I'm with my kids, when I feel like I'm guiding them through life the right way, that fosters happiness. When I'm inspiring people to become the best version of themselves, what I'm doing right now makes me happy. Like when I'm teaching on stage or on camera, it's amazing. It's in my book, right? All those things give me a deep level of happiness. When I'm with a dear friend, when I feel like I made an impact on somebody, when my companies are thriving, when, like, I know the things that can light me up even when I'm having a bad day because they're still here. But you have to know them, you have to define them. Thank you for all the yeses, guys. I'm seeing all the comments come in, it's amazing. And there's a comment that I highlighted here is, don't confuse happiness with your goals. God, I know I've done that. There's a fine line, right? Tell me again. If you agree with me, say yes. If you don't, you could say, Dean, you're BSing. You're full of poop. I don't know, right? But don't confuse goals with happiness. I did for years. I'm like, oh my God, once I become a New York Times bestseller, wow. And then I hit New York Times bestseller and I'm like, I'm happy, right? Because I'm a New York Times bestseller. Don't confuse the two, right? Because the New York Times bestseller didn't necessarily make me happy. I was appreciative on the huge level. But when I really thought through it is that I got to touch so many people's lives, that I got to make an impact. And when I really reverse engineered it, then I found the way that made me happy. So be careful that you don't confuse goals with happiness. Have them both, but be happy while you're attaining your goals. So find the simple terms that you can share with yourself. Like do a gut check once a week. So what makes me happy? And just remember what they are. I do the exercise and write it down. Okay, number 2, happiness habit number 2. Make the present your friend. Okay, this is, if you ever listen to Michael Singer or read Michael Singer, The Untethered Soul, I'm sure you listened to Eckhart Tolle or read Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. This is a really big one that destroys happiness. You can destroy your happiness in moments by looking into the future. Everything is, like I started in the original section, but this goes a little deeper, is I'll be happy when. If that's part of any of your terminology, then you're projecting your happiness into the future. And what I'd love to do, going a little deeper on this, is how long have you been putting off true happiness already? If I said right now, give me a month, a year, 5, 10, 20 years, let me know. How long have you been putting off the full potential of your happiness? I know you have happy moments, and maybe you're happy all the time. I've met so many of you that are just like the most radiant, happy people I've ever met. But is there another level? Of course. Because even sometimes when you do the one person is happy to the outside world, but when it's quiet and you're alone, that's when you're like, oh, God, then my you're prolonging your happiness until an event. And if you can stop that and realize we can be happy in this moment, that this moment of happiness will make that event happen instead of vice versa. The other thing that robs our happiness is looking backwards. How many people do you know are have put off a new relationship because they were hurt in the past, and they go back and reflect on that pain, and it robs your happiness today? Something that happened a month ago, 6 months ago, 6 years ago, 60 years ago is only robbing your happiness today because you're staring at it, because you're looking at it. You can't undo it. I know I talk about this a lot, but I just know the fundamental things that rob your happiness is looking backwards. You can't undo any of it. You can't, I'm sure there's things we all regret. I've made massive mistakes in my life. Some took me a moment to get over, some took me years to get over. And the ones that took me years, I wish I could have found a way to get over them in a moment back then. I know how to now. Your past is research and development. Take from the past that which serves you. Learn from the mistakes. Feel the pain, but then let it go, because if you just keep living with the past in mind, you will just replicate it in the future and wonder why you attract the wrong relationship. You don't attract the money. Why does the money always go away? Why do you miss the opportunities? It's because you're looking backwards. Make the present your best friend. Make the present your best friend right here, right in the now. If you want to listen to Eckhart Tolle, that's the power of now. He says if you're stressed, you're either looking backwards at something you can't change, so that's only in here, you're causing the unhappiness, or you're looking to a future, that a movie that nobody produced yet. So how can you let either one of them affect you when the only moment we have is this moment? And could you be happy in this moment? Just that's, and I'm paraphrasing because I love those books. It's same practice I've been doing for years, but I love what they teach. Think about it. In this moment, right now, could you be unhappy this very second without the past and without the future? Just being here. I say this a lot, but 150,000 people a day die around the world. Every single day, 150,000 people. Today, you're not one of them. Today, you could still find gratitude. Today, you still have the power to make change in your life. Today, you have the opportunity to learn from your past and let the rest go away. Today, you can decide not to focus on what could go wrong and start focusing on what could go right. Today, you get to make the decision that you can create happiness on the inside of your body today. So when can you be happy? Tomorrow? Can you be happy in yesterday? No, they don't exist. But you could be happier right now. What's up? What's up? Hey, before you go, you need to watch these next few videos. They're absolute game changers. Hurry up and click right over here and watch them, and I'll see you there.